StarCraft Remastered is coming out August 14. But aside from that, why am I okay with this? Because I miss it. I mean, don't get me wrong, StarCraft 2 is pretty fun. I've got a lot of things, a lot of issues I don't like about it. Every time I've played, I've got it, I've played it, I just don't really care for it outside of the story. Other than going through the story and seeing what all has happened and everything since Brood War, that's been nice, but actually playing other people, the game has changed. Feels like it has changed drastically compared to what its original predecessor was. It's still, you've got to build a base and everything, but every time I go in and I play a match, it always seems to be whoever can build X unit first and send it over to the other guy first automatically wins. When I remember being back in the day that you were able to properly get yourself a decent defense with no problem, or, well, I guess little problem, but not have to really worry about anything unless somebody rushes you with probes or something suddenly out of nowhere before you even got a unit to defend against it. But, rare occasions. But, yeah, I really miss, StarCraft and how games like that, the RTS strategy games, were back in the day where you actually had time to build up a base and get yourself defenses and spread out and make more and try and defend those as well, and then eventually having a full clash somewhere in the middle of the map and pretty much winner takes all. But yeah, it's only going to be about $15, which is not bad for a remastering of StarCraft with some updated graphics. Sort of a graphic overhaul on it, making it look a lot better than it did back in, like, say, 1998, I think is when it was originally out. Somewhere in there, back in the 90s. But it's $15, unlike other remasters I've seen come out. They're, full price, or $30 or $40 on top of that. And, usually they're pretty good as well. But honestly, I have a hard time trying to pay that much for a remastered game from the 90s. There's got to be a lot more into it. Doesn't mean I won't buy it, but I would like to be a lot more added to it than just a remaster and then having to drop, $40 for it. 15 honestly feels nice. It feels like not too much, but at the same time not too little. I'm willing to pay about 10 to 15 bucks. I mean, heck, maybe even 20 on a remastery of something that has already been out there. And especially if they plan to, revamp it a little bit with a graphical upgrade like they plan to do with a StarCraft Remastered, which is the original StarCraft and StarCraft Brood War in one. So, it's like if you go out and bought the battle chest for 20 bucks, you're getting it for 15 with an upgrade. Of course, then again, I don't think you can actually go out and buy the battle chest anymore. I haven't been in a store and looked in years, but at one point in time, that used to be the thing. Battle chests, go out, drop 20 bucks, get the whole StarCraft thing. There's probably a battle chest for StarCraft 2 out there, for all I know. But it would be nice to go back and play the original, especially if I have the ability to not have to link up to a computer. And we can go through Battle.net and play with other people. I can think of several people I would love to play the original again. I mean, as much as we'd like playing the second one, and it's got some things to it that we like, they just never really had that feel, that original feel that the original StarCraft brought. You got in, you picked your race, you started building a base, you set up some defenses, some turrets, whatever, some Marines, Dragoons, whatever you were, Zergs. You expand, you find their base, and eventually you guys will fight it out. And, winner takes all. Unlike with StarCraft 2, it's been a bit since I've played now, but when I was last playing, it's like you fight against Terran, they make I can't remember the unit, but they essentially can jump pack to higher locations. And then suddenly you've got like 2 or 3 of those that jump over and they sit themselves on a higher location that you can't see yet because you can't, because you haven't been able, you don't have anything to get up there, and then they sit there and they just peg you to death from the higher spot, and you can't do anything about it. I just never really cared for that gameplay at all, where people could fast track a particular unit and then have a huge edge over their opponent no matter what, and they just run over there and then just pretty much massacre them because, say, their nexus or whatnot happens to be located next to high ground, and then they just sit up there and shoot at you and you can't do anything about it. You can send, you know, things over there, but they can't see them to even retaliate until you can build another unit, but you can't build that because you're too busy getting killed already. And it's just things like that, little things like that that just made me hate StarCraft 2. Well, not really hate, because I still love it. I love playing through the story. I still love playing with other people who, you know, don't do rushes like that. Yeah, I know it's a strategy. It's part of the game. You either like it, you don't. And I'm sure somebody will, oh, that's part of the game. And it's just never been my style. When it comes to RTSs, I know they've changed immensely from back in the day, because especially when you're running the MLG circuit or something, and you've got to have that edge. People are going to find that edge, are going to use it, but I really do miss back in the 90s when they were, you built your base, you built other bases, little camps around here and there to collect more minerals. You lose it, you don't, and try and keep an edge, and then you clash with your armies here and there every bit, and then eventually one of y'all win. I just sort of miss that gameplay where a match could take, you know, an hour or something of just grinding materials, building up an army, and then eventually clashing somewhere. But that's just me. That's something I miss. You may enjoy the new way of things. You may enjoy how it works. But, yeah. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's not it. There's more things on it. What is the remastering version going to bring us exactly? Well, it's going to have a graphical upgrade. I think Blizz said something about being able to be widescreen with high definition support up to 4K, as well as higher or better music and sound. But also, it will be bringing matchmaking and leaderboards, along with cloud saves for the campaign progress. So if you want to go and do that, you can go back through the campaign. If you've played StarCraft 2 but never played StarCraft 1, this would be a great chance to go ahead and play it and see how it all started. How we wound up with Kerrigan as she was when, you know, she wasn't originally. She was a ghost. And, you know, you can get the rest of the story that way, which I think is going to be great. Better hotkey customization. It's going to give us game replays. And supposedly they've set it up to where you can click a button and change between the remastered graphics and the original graphics, which I think would be pretty awesome. You can play with the original or look at the updated graphics, however you feel like you want to play. But also, if you pre-order it, they have given a few incentives, which honestly isn't a big sell for me. I'm going to buy the game regardless, but the pre-orders aren't that huge of a sell for me. They give you 3 unique building skins for the remastered with the Hive Command Center and the Nexus, so they'll look a tad bit different than everybody else's. And then, of course, if you do, you get some digital stuff for StarCraft 2, including a co-op commander and some portraits. Yeah, it's okay. The pre-order stuff isn't something that's going to make me go, click, buy right now, definitely. Then again, I hate pre-order stuff. Pre-order bonuses in general. But I mean, if it's going to be something really, really nice, and it's going to be something I'm going to buy anyway, regardless, you know, I'll go ahead and buy it. But I definitely am looking forward to StarCraft Remastered. Get several people who are looking forward to it as well, so we can get in and play some of the original StarCraft. I wonder if there's going to be a map editor weren't like in the original, because I really enjoyed making maps. I'm sure there will be. I mean, it's going to probably have everything it had beforehand, be able to make maps and other stuff. I really enjoyed that. Something I always used to do in my off time, is make maps for, 8 people to play on and enjoy, have a lot of time with it. But what are your thoughts? Or, are you excited for StarCraft Remastered? I think I've said the word way too many times in this video. I don't know what is with me today. But anyway, are you excited for StarCraft Remastered? Do you prefer playing RTSs sort of the older, in the older days where you actually took the time to build up a awesome little base or whatnot in Clash? Or do you prefer things more of the route of way things have gone today, where it's more fast-paced and games can be over in about 30 minutes or less? Those are things I'd like to know, so let me know down in the comments below. Talk to you later. See ya.